Sing it, hey, hey, hey. We can do it old school, ABC style. Maybe we can go a little wild and freestyle.
All right, if we're going to get started with our State of the City address, we do things a little differently here at Imperial, and we pride ourselves on that. Our State of the City is for you, our community members. We will begin with our opening ceremonies this evening. Presenting the colors this evening will be Imperial Zone Troop 4070 of the Boy Scouts of America, chartered by the American Legion 8 and Post 25. Allow me to introduce Dominic Forenza, Eagle Scout, who will be leading the color guard.
Especially for the video part. Be very careful with this, dude.
Color guard, attention. Color guard, advance.
Dad, color guard.
Color guard and audience, salute.
I would now like to introduce Team Michelle with the national anthem.
Oh, see, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you.
I would now like to invite Caleb Armenta, who has attained his first class rank in the Boy Scouts and is the troop chaplain.
Please prepare yourself in the manner which you are accustomed. O holy God, my Father, thank you for the many blessings that our local community has. I pray for those who are in offices that govern this community and county, and that they make wise and godly decisions, which are always in the best interests of the community. I am thankful that we have the freedom to speak up and vote for those who are in office. I pray for them to be blessed by you, God, and also those who are in law enforcement. Please protect them in their line of duty so that they might protect those of us who have placed our trust in them. God, please bless these men and women in city government, the mayor's office, the city council, and all elected officials, and certainly those who put themselves in harm's way, like law enforcement, firefighters, and emergency workers. I am so thankful we all have all of these, and in Jesus' precious name I pray, amen.
Color guard 2. Color guard reform. Color guard dismissed. Audience at ease.
At this time, I'd like to introduce our Mayor Pro Tem, Corinne Eugenio.
Good evening and welcome to Blues, Brews, and Barbecue. Thank you for joining us tonight for our market days and our 2020 State of the City. Once again, my name is Corinne Eugenio and I'm the Mayor Pro Tem for the City of Imperial. I'd like to take this moment to acknowledge my fellow City Council members. I think I can speak for all of us when I say that we feel pretty fortunate to be your elected leaders. We genuinely love this community, and these celebrations are such a clear reminder of why we do this. So if you don't know your council already, let me introduce you, Mr. Robert Amparano. I don't know where you are, Mr. Amparano. Mr. James Tucker, and last but not least, Mr. Jeff Dale. The life of a public servant is often thankless, so thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate you. But none of this would be possible without our Community Services Department and Director Ember Haller, our City Manager Interim, and our City Attorney doing double duty, Mr. Dennis Morita, and our Assistant City Manager, Miss Alexis Brown, and a tremendous thank you to our extraordinary staff who made all of this possible tonight. I'd also like to extend a special thank you to our neighboring elected officials who are here tonight. And tonight, I have the high privilege and honor of introducing our mayor. And if you don't know our mayor, he can be described as a very reserved man. Having said that, if you do know our mayor, you know that's completely inaccurate. He is, in fact, quite the opposite. Mayor Pechtl is pretty vocal and animated, which makes it easier for the rest of us, right? Who doesn't want a natural MC on their city council? But if you like short city council meetings, he's not your ideal mayor. However, if you want questions asked and issues answered both thoroughly and extensively, he's your man. In my first year here, I've learned so much more than I ever anticipated. In my remaining year, I know I have a lot left to learn. But Mr. Pechtl's consistent demand for information and transparency has been incredibly helpful to not just me, but to all our residents and constituents. With that said, here in Imperial, we don't take ourselves too seriously. We like to have a lot of fun, and our state of city is no different. So with that said, let's get this show started.
Good evening. What we have in mind is building the ideal community for 20,000. We must be in heaven, man. the moment you've all been waiting for. Please welcome to the stage tonight's headliner, the Mayor of Imperial, Mr. Darrell Pechtl.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to downtown Imperial and blues, brews, and barbecue. Are we having a good time? Are you in the back having a good time? Come on, let's hear it. Hey, I want to welcome you all here to our State of the City as well tonight as part of our market days. And I got to tell you, it's a real honor and a real blessing. I am not ashamed to say this is not just my favorite town in Imperial County. This is the best city in Imperial County. We have entered into an exciting new decade this year and a new era of prosperity and growth for the city of Imperial. Like a finely tuned instrument, the elected leaders in this city are working together with the city staff and constituents like you to make every bit of this city better. We're setting the stage for the progress that we want to continue to experience as a city. What it all boils down to is our focus on your quality of life. We want to serve you. That's why we're here. So we want to look forward and see what's coming. And I know you want to know what's happening out there. But before we do that, we're going to take a short look back. And we have some facts we want to share with you about the year past and some of the things that have been taking place that you may have missed or kind of forgotten about in the craziness of January 2020, because it was a little crazy. Our population this year is going to hit a high note. We're going to reach over 20,000 people in the city of Imperial this year. Now, just to put that in perspective, 20 years ago, in the year 2000, our population at census, 7,560. In 20 years, we're going to break 20,000 people this year. In 2010, we had actually almost doubled it to about 15,000, but we're now ready to make that next jump. And we're very excited to see what's coming with all of these new residents, bringing their passion and their vision and their love for family and their love for community into our city. Our current growth rate is 4%. According to what we can see on everything coming around, we know that by the end of this year, we'll break 20,000. That makes us the 5th fastest growing municipality in all of California. That's a great place to be. Our sphere of influence stands at 6.9 miles. We continue to grow within that established sphere, but we grow faster and faster all the time. Our housing boom continues in Imperial, and we know that housing is important to our community. We had 176 single-family residence permit issued last year. El Centro is jealous, let me tell you. They had 0. 176 in Imperial. That's where people want to live. Events like this and people like you are the reason why. The valuation for those 176 homes, $34,365,000 coming into our commercial, with other commercial and other improvements and permits. Our grand total valuation of new projects for the city climbs to $50,225,144.84. That generated about just shy of $3 million in revenue for the city for us to be able to expand our services, improve our parks, and improve your quality of life. That's what it means when people come to Imperial. That's why we're so excited to welcome them here. Business growth is amped with 872 annual business permits issued for 2019. 872 business permits in the city of Imperial. That's an increase of 61 over the previous year and increasing revenue by 126% at $55,000 into the city, more than double what it was just 20 years ago. Utility accounts are booming, climbing from 2,639 in the year 2000 to 6,009 this year in utility counts. Backstage, our city currently oversees 8 very active departments. I'm going to read this carefully. We have 78 employees, 18 sworn police officers, with a fiscally sound budget in the black. We are operating in the black with approximately $30 million in the city budget as we continue to grow. So let's just say that we've had it dialed in now for the last couple of years, and we're very excited about what that's going to do for us. And we continue in 2020 to hold our place as the safest city in California with the lowest crime rate by far in the entire state. This is our, I want to say, 5th year in a row being designated as the safest city in California. Thank you and congratulations. That's you that make that happen. Now there is help for that. And we do got to give recognition. Our men and women in blue, we have a top-notch police department. We are very proud of that. Total calls for law enforcement in 2019 were 8,816, including 254 arrests, 829 citations, and 2,257 just safety stops. We want to thank Chief Leonard Barra as he continues to do this fine work with this great group. He's standing over here, and we appreciate you, Chief, and all the hard work you put in, and all of your men and women in blue for putting themselves out there for our safety. We thank you very much. Service is very much a top priority in our city, starting with city administration. Since the year 2000, we've had only 3 city managers. That speaks to a love of the city, and it promises to be a big reason why we continue to grow the way we do. The consistency and the passion that comes with having people who come here and make this a career stop for a long time is very important to us. Each one that we've had over those last 20 years has left a lasting mark on this community, and we can look around and see their impact. As we bid farewell this last December to Stephen Chatwin, our most recent city manager, we began a nationwide search for a new city manager, somebody who's got big shoes to fill, and somebody who we're looking to be the right fit for our community. We continue to take that search forward, and in the next couple of months, we expect to be coming out with that announcement on who that new person's going to be. City government has been jamming along very well with 54 council resolutions and 2 new ordinances adopted and filed in 2019. There were 5 proclamations that were presented last year. And we've begun, if you haven't tuned in, to stream our city council meetings live on Facebook. I hope you'll take advantage of that opportunity. Participate from the comfort of your own home if that's what works. But please participate. Hold us accountable. Watch us. Listen to us. If you disagree, put the notes down. I promise you, every one of us is looking at what you're saying and trying to respond to what's out there. So please take advantage of that opportunity with our streaming of our meetings now. Of course, we know the importance of water in our valley, water in our community. There's nothing more important to what we're trying to do in this community and the way we want to live than our access to water. And in our city, public services is essential. As a city that's grown from 7,000 people to 20,000 in 20 years, that's a tremendous impact on city infrastructure and city services. Water and sewer being 2 of those that are the hardest hit because they're the ones that take so much more damage, so much more wear and tear as people move into the community. So, our public services reported 939 million gallons of water delivered last year. That's 2.58 million gallons per day that were going out. And we're quickly approaching that 1 billion gallon mark. So our pipes are essential in our life. To help improve their performance, we funded $7,200,000 in water improvements in the last year. And we're going to be seeing the fruits of that as we go along. On the bottom end, wastewater is at 387.9 million gallons with a daily average of 1.1 million gallons of wastewater product each day. That's an impressive amount of thinking going on out in the community. Due to the ever-increasing volume, we broke ground on a state-of-the-art $20,300,000 membrane bioreactor wastewater plant. We've broken ground and it's under construction right now to meet the anticipated growth of this city. Quite simply, in 20 years, we've outgrown what we had, and it's time to get more. Technology improvements put us in the front row, including completing an upgrade to the city's utility billing systems, and as well as major compliance updates to help us with credit security and cash security. Server and desktop computer upgrades are underway citywide to keep our staff equipped with the best possible machinery to help them do the jobs most efficiently for you. Now that we've covered some of the statistics there, the reality is more than just numbers. What do we see that tells us something's happening? Housing in Imperial continues with a fast-growing rhythm. There are currently 7 subdivisions under construction in the city. 7 subdivisions in our city, with sticks going up on every corner, all over town, all the time. We've never slowed down. We've never stopped, and we continue to grow. All this new construction has got to be paired with improvements to our infrastructure. Well, that means that we've invested more than $1,300,000 in grants to support storm drainage design and installation, including asphalt and overlay and gutter over here on 11th Street. As you've noticed, that's almost done. We're about ready to, that should be all cleared up here in the next few days, as I understand it. We also received $160,000 to implement a land management software system and to working with our housing production. For all of you concerned about our roads and sidewalks, well, we continue to worry about that too. Sidewalks, driveways, ADA ramps, and crosswalks were installed on Ayton Road from La Brucherie to Shiloh, utilizing Measure D funds totaling $438,000. The intersection of Cross and Ayton was completely redone all the way to Tyler Drive. And it's on its way with roadway rehabilitation, crosswalk, and sidewalk installation for another $500,000 in Measure D funds. And our parks, we love our parks. We live with our parks, don't we? Well, we continue to work on those. Our city center jewel, that's Eager Park right over here behind us, saw a replacement of benches, tables, upgrades to the playground equipment, resurfacing of padding, installation of new trash can receptacles. Freddie White, Joshua, and Sunset Parks all received new benches and trash receptacles. Paseo del Sol, Sky Ranch, Sunset Ranch all received new lighting installations. Savannah Ranch had damaged retention basin wood fencing replaced. Sky Ranch, Aviation, Victoria, and Savannah Parks are all already in planning for resurfacing projects, and Sky Ranch will soon see the replacement of 1,800 feet of linear brick wall that is unsafe, that is falling down in places, to the tune of approximately $800,000 to improve the safety for our citizens in those parks and those drainage basins. All of our parks received new dogway stations. 8 parks received 150 new trees planted through the CAL FIRE grant in conjunction with the City of El Centro's Urban Forest Project. And we are grateful to our park staff for working so hard with our citizens to get those planted. That was an awesome thing to do back in November. We also welcomed the grand opening of our wonderful new transit park just across the highway here next to ID headquarters, as well as the opening of the brand new Cambria Park, which we started with a movie night in their park, if you remember back last fall. And that was a beautiful event. I hope you have a chance to take advantage of that park and to check out other nights like that. Our library itself enhances our community. Since October, our community service department has relocated into our library. That means that they've been able to concentrate operations and activities in the library and expand them for the city. The library is fully booked, being a benefactor of important funding and receiving many grants to support their ability to serve our entire community. This includes programs and tools for families with children with autism and resources for mental health awareness. We also have a special children's book collection, as well as the implementation of vital family and adult literacy programs. $15,000 in Zip Books funding is available, permitting library card holders to order books that are otherwise not on our shelves directly from Amazon Prime. So if you want it and we don't have it, but they have it on Amazon Prime, you can get it. We'll send it straight to your house, enjoy it, use it, learn from it, and then just turn it back in. All funded by our library, not costing you a dime. Our library is part of the 2020 Rural Libraries Tour with featured speakers and workshops. Programming continues to expand in our library with the reintroduction of weekly story times and numerous other family and children's events, including the National Read with a Farmer Day, which was a huge hit this year. Community activity is unlimited to the library. Obviously, our market days, like the one you're attending tonight, get top billing in this city. And we want to thank our city staff again for all of this and making this happen today. This is perfect. This is what we want to have. For 1920, we actually revised our Market Days format. We cut down from 7 to 4, added some new celebration themes, including Fiesta de los Muertos back in October, which you all seem to enjoy. And then we incorporated our December Market Day into our Christmas Parade of Lights here in downtown with over 18,000 people in attendance that night. It was a tremendously successful event, and we were grateful to everybody who made that happen. So thank you for coming out for Christmas, and we hope you'll be back again for it next year. Many of you remember back in June, we got to celebrate a little hometown hero. We had a great parade here for heavyweight boxing champion of the world, Andy the Destroyer Ruiz Jr. and a great show over at Imperial High School in his honor. We were grateful to everyone for being a part of that, and all the county agencies and state agencies and federal agencies that came in to make that event safe for everyone. Let's not forget about recreation. Community service oversees an amazing collection of activities. This includes a culinary arts program, martial arts, fine arts classes, Red Cross lifeguard certification, water safety instructor certification, as well as numerous camps, classes, summer programs, and other activities throughout the year. When you combine those with other popular youth activities, you've got a great town. But let's not leave out those non-city practices. Let's have a shout out right now and a round of applause for those great kids who are involved in Boy Scouts of America, putting in that time, and those families helping that. And how about some recognition for our own Southwest Valley 4-H, 230 plus members strong, representing us at the fair every year and doing great jobs in our community. And then, of course, let's not leave them out. Imperial High School FFA step up all the time and help with community events, help with our schools. Those kids are a wonderful example we should all be learning from. Raising our youth into positive citizens is important. It involves all those activities and more. It involves soccer. It involves Little League. It involves Pop Warner. It involves cheerleading. And all of those are a part of our community as well. And we're grateful for all the parents who volunteer and make that happen. Let's have a round of applause for all of those as well. And then, of course, stepping out there front and center and putting their name on the line to make sure our kids get what they need. How about a round of applause for the men and women of the Imperial Unified School District? They have a lot to celebrate this year, and they probably should be doing their own State of the Schools address, but I will tell you, we're proud of some of their highlights. We're proud of the fact that the California Business for Education Excellence recognized Ben Hulse Elementary, T.L. Wagner Elementary, Frank Wright Middle School, and Imperial High School with the title of 2019 Honor Roll Schools. The entire district receiving that recognition because of the hard work by those teachers, those parent volunteers, and of course those kids who put in the time that we ask of them. Round of applause for that. Frank Wright was honored in 2019 as a California Distinguished School by the state. Was awarded for the 4th time as one of California's schools to watch. I mean, that's an amazing accomplishment. I've been in education 28 years in many districts. That's an incredible reign. Special highlight for the school is their Mesa team, which won the Southern California Regional Championship for Engineering Design Challenge and then finished second in the state championship at UCLA. Over at Imperial High School, their athletic tradition and extracurriculars know no equal. And they won state and regional titles in girls and boys basketball, wrestling, on drumline, winter guard, and of course, FFA, winning state championships out there too. Those kids do it. Probably the biggest highlight of the last year was the district got you and I to all vote along and support them with Measure O, which gave them funds to the tune of $34 million. And that laid the groundwork for them to get some things out of the way that were essential. And now they're coming back and they're ready with Measure P, and they know you're going to back them. Measure P will fund numerous programs and building programs in our district. They need our support, and I hope that you will all consider that when you go to the ballot. Look at Imperial, look at our schools, and know we want the best. And the way you get the best money for your kids is you develop it locally. It's not coming from a state bond, it's coming from local bonds. That means we're giving to our kids. And that's what we want to do here. So support Measure P as you go forward. Another source of pride in our community is the annual California Midwinter Fair. Coming up real soon. I know I'll be there. I hope you will. This year's theme is Farm to Ferris Wheel. We're throwing it back. And if you didn't notice, they just went through a rebranding. And they're no more IV Expo, which nobody understood anyways. We are now the IV Fairgrounds, as it should be. Yes, Lindsay? Yes. They've also upgraded lighting out there, upgraded security. Surveillance has been improved for year-round protection out there. So that covers what's been going on in the public sector. But there's more for our city to celebrate. Just driving around the main corridors, you see new buildings going up, businesses popping up. We're happy that they are choosing to call Imperial their home. Every week we find new opportunities to celebrate with new businesses. Our very own Imperial Chamber of Commerce continues to work hard on behalf of those businesses. They relocated to a great new facility just outside the entrance to the fairgrounds, and they continue to work hard to bring services and to bring opportunities for local businesses to grow and learn and get stronger and more efficient. And we are so grateful to the Chamber of Commerce for all the great work that they're doing on behalf of local businesses. One of the new businesses that came into town this year kind of dropped the mic on the rest of Imperial County, pretty much the rest of Southern California. I've got to give a shout out to March and Ash. They came in, opened a beautiful facility over there. Little controversial for some people, but you know what? They introduced medical cannabis to our community, built a beautiful facility there, and we have had no negative measurable impact in our community as a result of their presence. Only positive things have come out, and they continue to step up and be a positive and participating member of our community. Well, that's the kind of business we want here. Someone who's willing to invest and take the time in helping our city grow. Right there alongside of him, Dr. Ray Liu cut the ribbon for an inspired and very eclectic-looking pediatrician's office, but you know what it is when you see it, right? And he chose Imperial because he knew our children deserved the best in medical care, and he had that to offer in his pediatrician service. Just down the street from my house, guys I should be seeing a little more of, and I don't, 413 Fitness Center opened up, and they moved into that great new facility that they have, beautiful ribbon-cutting ceremony. Beautiful Bella twins attending the ribbon-cutting ceremony. We were really grateful for them coming in and working with that. It renovated an empty shell of a building, and it turned it into something new and dynamic and positive for our city. And that's what we're looking for, people who are willing to think that way. Right down the street from them, Jerry Tucker, I got to give you a shout out. Much as it hurts, we got to recognize Jerry Tucker in developing the Lisa Tucker Plaza has brought a great opportunity for business to our community. He continues shredding what's going on out there with the rollout of Brickhouse Coffee. Of course, we like Brickhouse Deli and other new businesses that have come along line, including recently, just the last month or so, Controlled Thermal Resources, a geothermal energy company moving in their headquarters into that center. They host seasonal open-air markets, not in competition with anything, but just to support the opportunity for local vendors, local booth owners to have a chance to go out and be a part of it. Nearby, there's the IV Therapeutic Massage that's also opened its doors over at the QPEC Center. And right across from City Hall, Melissa Michaels Spa completed the expansion and renovation of their headquarters, and we welcome them into that bigger center that they're in now. Valley Dry Cleaner is finalizing their move-in next to Humble Farmer. So that's something new coming into us. Finally, we can have our own dry cleaning service in town. And then just down the highway, our Automobile Row features a brand new jewel in the crown. The Imperial Valley Volkswagen dealership recently completed their construction and are now geared up and fully operational right next to Rogers and Rogers Nissan. Valori Foods managed to go out and double their distribution center size. Spreckles Sugar Warehouse recently completed tens of thousands of square foot of warehouse space here in town, and they've shifted their operations here. NS Construction built new headquarters on the southern edge of the city, but note all of them are staying home in Imperial, where they know they belong. And finally, and possibly the most visible group in the bunch, one of the biggest new buildings we have in town, and we're very proud they relocated from out in the county Netherlands to here. The Imperial Valley Food Bank built a 28,000 square foot facility at the Imperial Business Park. We are so happy to have them as neighbors in our city. They serve food to over 23,000 residents in our county. They run all their operations out of that facility. That is a beautiful operation for all of our communities, and it's housed here. They've got a well-equipped administration center, volunteer center, 22,000 square foot warehouse, and they've got an incredible place called the Imperial Grove, which some of you young folk may want to go to tomorrow. It's not really my music, but I got to tell you, you're going to like it. Imperial Grove tomorrow, they have an amphitheater that'll see about 200 people. They have an event center garden area there. And tomorrow night, they're going to be featuring a Calexico band called La Cachimba. They're starting at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, and I hope you'll go. Tickets are available at the door, and all the proceeds go to benefit the food bank. Now, you missed Standing Room Only, a great jazz show last month. But next month in March, if you stick it around, Safety Orange will be playing in the same facility. So there's definitely some opportunities for more entertainment coming into Imperial as these groups continue to work things out. Now that we've looked at the accomplishments for the last year, let's look ahead. A long-time dream in this community has been to have a large regional park. It's finally in our spotlight. Funded by city and state programs, we have a 144-acre site at 573 Larson Road, just north edge of the city, and it's about to become the epicenter for a huge multi-use park facility. We anticipate completion by 2022. So we expect to see you out there with your families taking advantage of the planned football fields, soccer fields, softball fields, baseball fields, bike paths, amphitheater. Lots of opportunities for families to come together and spend time together and celebrate their kids. We recently gained control of the Highway 86 corridor. After all these years of the state controlling it and us not being able to touch it, we finally get to step in. Now, I know some of you didn't like it, but the first step was to lower the speed limit to 45. I know. However, let us remember, the whole idea here is to build business in our community and to get people to be a part of that. And one of the ways you build businesses is you tell businesses, we have a place for you to go where people will see your business front and they'll stop and check you out. And as we lower that speed limit, that opens up the opportunity for more safe entry and exit into those areas where the businesses are going to grow. And we're very excited about that opportunity. So we hope you'll bear with us as we begin our next stages of improvements along that highway corridor that'll support both traffic and business. Part of that process is going to allow Belford Road to punch through to the highway again, which has been closed off in my lifetime. So it'll be nice to see that happen. We have other roadway improvements that are coming along the way. One is La Boucherie Road is about to be widened. Where it pinches off at El Centro city limits, we're going to be undergrounding the canal, making it 4 lanes all the way through into Ayton. We're very excited to see that project get started. This is all at a projected cost of about, wait, wrong one. Here we go. $4,854,750, which is why it took this long to get there, because you got to find those funds. But we are very excited about undergrounding the Dahlia and expanding that roadway. If that wasn't enough, we got this one coming too. Residents heading north on Clark Road, coming out of El Centro into Imperial, anybody else got stopped at that light for like a mile and a half and had to wait? You just want to turn right and you can't go anywhere because it's all dirt? We've taken over a big chunk of that. We're going to be widening that. They're working on that now. They're putting in a right-hand turn lane on the northbound lanes coming out of El Centro. Also, on the eastbound lanes, heading over the tracks and heading out eastbound, there'll be a right turn lane going in at the corner onto Clark Road. So they won't be backing up anymore into those straight lanes. So another opportunity for our residents to have a little more convenience in their travel. Multifamily units are, don't want to forget the bicycle path. When I was a young man, I did enjoy riding my bicycle out to IVC. I actually did. And there was a path that I could ride down that was really smooth and easy to ride on. That's coming back. About $430,000 is being invested to redo the bike path heading out to IVC along Ayton Road. We're looking forward to seeing that come on. Multifamily housing is growing in this city. It's coming in more and more. We have 349 units in the works, including the Imperial Senior Apartments, the Worthington Apartments, and Quail Meadows. We are very excited about some new ones coming in with Morningside and the Tim Goodsey Complex as well. And a new housing subdivision, Morningstar, will soon break ground on the northernmost edge of town. This is going to be a lofty solo project. They're going to be working hard, but it's going to help us continue our growth. Back in the Imperial Business Park on Ayton Road, a large skilled nursing facility is now in the works. And the 67 acres just south of the drive-in is being planned for development as well. Some of you may have noticed once or twice, you may have heard about this hotel thing, on the north end of town. Well, we are excited to point out that that property has been purchased and that the new owner is very heavily and actively working to find the right marquee, the right branding, and bring in somebody to finish construction and get that thing done. We hope to see that done here easily before the end of 2022, hopefully before the end of 2021, finally get the Ghost Hotel up and running. There's also an exciting new commercial retail property coming on place right next to T.L. Wagner School. That empty pie that's been sitting there is going to be filled. You're going to see some new businesses coming in, and we know you like it. Right next to Frank Wright. Did I say Wagner? Okay, I meant Frank Wright. We owe a debt of gratitude to the visionary pioneers and lineage of the past years and city staff in our great city. 116 years ago, we were incorporated, and we've come a long way. Imperial, as we know it now, barely resembles those humble beginnings. We've been a small town for a long time. Well, we're growing. But even as we grow, we keep those small town roots and those small town values. We keep those small town connections that make this the place we want to live. There's no doubt Imperial continues to shine. There's no doubt that Imperial is going to continue to grow. But you know what? That highway, that used to be something you drive down and blow by. But there is no doubt Imperial has become a place you drive to, not a place you drive through. That's Imperial. We're excited about it. So welcome home. Welcome to your sweet home, Imperial. And now, let's rock. And here's a treat for you. Listen careful. Light her up! Big wheels keep on turning, carry me home to see my kin, singing songs about the Southland. I miss Imperial once again, and I think it's a sin. Well, I heard there's some they talk about us. Well, I know there's some they put us down. Well, I hope those folks will all remember Imperial don't need them around anyhow. Sweet home Imperial, where the skies are so blue. Sweet home Imperial, Lord, I'm coming home to you. In Sacramento they got the governor. Boo hoo hoo. We all did what we could do. Well, all those games do not bother me. We got better things to do. Sweet home Imperial, where the skies are so blue. Sweet home Imperial, Lord, I'm coming home to you. Got the tigers, red and white and full of pride. Lord, they light us up so much. Working hard, they do what's right. Now sing your pride. Sweet home Imperial, where skies are so blue. Home Imperial, Lord, I'm coming home to you. Sweet home Imperial, where skies are so blue. Thank you all very much for letting me have some of your time. It's an honor to be your mayor, an honor to be on this council with these great people. May God bless you. May God bless the United States of America. And may God bless Sweet Home Imperial.